Yeah, it was. It was obviously a tough week, and the players I thought responded amazingly well today. Really all week the way they prepared after hearing the tragic news on Wednesday, they went about their business and prepared well on Thursday, and executed it really well today. And you just couldn't help but think of the way Macca led the team last week under pretty tough circumstances. That everyone just looked at that as an example and really followed it out to a T.
How much do you think that was a factor?
I don't know, but I think in the end, Macca's obviously a well-respected person at our football club. I just was really pleased with how we were able to focus on the moment, and that's what Jared was able to do last week so well. Even though things were going pretty tough for him, he was able to focus on the moment, and I thought the players, the way that they focused on the moment, and that was whether supporting Jared and Clementine or whether it was preparing to train and preparing to play, they did it very well.
Is this one of the toughest periods of time, few days that you've had in 43?
It's been, it's not often things happen that have happened this week, thank goodness. But we think we're a pretty strong footy club, from the board, the management, coaches through to the playing group. I mean, I thought the players have been outstanding, and we've had that for a long period of time, and it was shown. We've come to the fore today, and I thought the way they responded, from Adam Goods right through to Luke Parker, it was really good.
It's an emotional song. That was a big moment for the club. What kind of combining together at that point?
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's a lot riding on today, and whether that was emotionally or just the sheer fact that they've won 29 in a row here, so there was a lot at stake, and I thought that the way the players went about their job was really fantastic.
A lot of teams come down here and sort of be intimidated by that great record and all that sort of stuff. You guys always seem like the belief you could do it. You always seem to believe that you'd be able to do that. Was that something you spoke about during the week and build up to say, because it just seemed like a bit of an insurer tough?
Yeah, and I think the senior players have got to take most of that credit. They were keen that we weren't just going to come down here and make up the numbers. They were pretty keen that we were going to come down here and be more than competitive and make sure that we took our trademark footy into the game, and we did that last week well. We missed some easy shots, but I thought today we carried that on and were able to do it for 4 quarters, that consistent pressure football that we want to have as the foundation of our game.
So where does that come from? Last 3 weeks ago, you had lost against Richmond. In the last couple of weeks, from 2 dingy signals of performances, tough at it, stoppage, dominating, all that sort of stuff, contested ball. Where does that come from? Where does that change come from?
Well, I mean, you look at the last 4 or 5 weeks, had a really good win against the Bulldogs, had a bye, and then had a great game against Essendon by a point. So it's only been really the one game that we were disappointed in, and we addressed it pretty well after that game, and we just went away from some of the things that we really value as a team, and it's just the basics of the game. We went away from that, and we spoke about it on the Monday. The leadership group were terrific. The way they took charge of what we wanted to stand for coming into that next game against the Saints, and they drove it. And it's full credit to them. Yeah, I think coming into today, I think we had 5 players 20 years and under. I think 3 teenagers, and we're still trying to be competitive and play finals. And I think that's what we want to do. Is we want to be bringing some of these kids in that we want to give a chance to, and I think we've brought a lot of those players in. Some of the jobs that they've been able to do, young 18, 19-year-old kids, have been fantastic this year and probably been a bit underrated. But they've been able to come into the group because a lot of the senior blokes have been able to show them the way, and I think that's been beneficial to them and the team. Yeah, and, full credit, Stevie Johnson he's a star. So Nick Smith's done some big jobs. I wouldn't like to have his sleep on a Friday night. He had Stevie Milne last week and Stevie J today, so he wouldn't get a lot of sleep. But the boys in the back line just go about their business. They fly under the radar a bit, which suits them. So. Yeah, it's interesting. Bobby Skilton said to me he hasn't seen us win down here. I think that was I didn't think it was that long, but you know, from our point of view, it was rare at rates. It was just an important win. You know, what I do want to just put on the record, I want to thank the Geelong Footy Club who contacted us during the week, and probably the whole footy community for the support they've given Jared. You know, Geelong, the leadership group today wore black armbands. They went to Neil Balme and said they wanted to do it, and I think that's a credit to the quality football club that Geelong is, and really the whole footy community. Oh, I think we've still got to make up a bit of ground on the best teams, and you know, it was a great win today. But I think that, you know, the best teams do it week in, week out. We've got to do it next week. We go back to the SCG and you know, hopefully finish the season off really strongly, and that's what we're going to make sure we focus on. It's, you know, we've put in a really good effort last week. I thought another good effort today, but it's head down and we prepare as real professionals for next week, like we did last week and this week, and put our best foot forward against a good young up and coming team with some good young players in Brisbane on Saturday night. Yeah, I just haven't thought about it, and it's been more about driving the trademark style of footy we want to play, and it sounds simplistic, but that's all it is, and it's making sure we get that foundation of our game right, and once we get that part of our game right, we then, you know, we talk about it, we look at the vision, we train for it, and then we play for it, and then you do the same again next week, and that's essentially as far as we look. Oh, it's only. I think the difficult thing is that the best teams do it week in, week out, and that's our challenge, is to make sure that we put them back to back. I think last week was good, this week was good, but we've got to go again, and ask me in a month. Hopefully I know a bit more.